The other big breaking story tonight, former President Donald Trump suing CNN.
There are also calls today for The View to go next when you've got hosts like Whoopi Goldberg spitting.
This morning, more fallout for Whoopi Goldberg. ABC News suspending Goldberg from The View.
The View was once unstoppable, a powerhouse of fiery debates, bold opinions, and headline-making moments. But what started as heated discussions quickly turned into a legal disaster.
So over the top, it was like making everyone uncomfortable.
Really?
It was really over the top. You know, I mean, I think like sort of a passing joke of like, you know.
Whoopi Goldberg and her co-hosts thought they could say anything, target anyone, and walk away untouched. They were wrong. One lawsuit became 5, then 10, then over 30 defamation cases, each one tearing away at the show's foundation. The money dried up, the sponsors vanished, and ABC had no choice but to pull the plug. How did one of daytime TV's biggest shows fall so fast and so hard? For years, The View thrived on heated debates and unfiltered opinions, drawing in audiences with its bold, no-holds-barred discussions. But over time, what was once seen as fearless commentary started coming across as reckless.
Country superstar Carrie Underwood has spent most of her career avoiding political talk, but she's set to perform at the upcoming inauguration. She said in a statement that she's doing it because the country must come together in the spirit of unity.
Elon Musk became one of her biggest targets, with Whoopi accusing him of being out of touch and implying he saw himself as above the law. But Musk, known for clapping back at criticism, didn't let it slide. The Trump family also came under fire, with Whoopi making sweeping allegations about their alleged shady dealings, treating speculation as fact. Even Carrie Underwood, typically uncontroversial, was bizarrely accused of manipulating the entertainment industry behind the scenes, an accusation that blindsided fans and industry insiders alike. Joe Rogan wasn't spared either.
Let me explain. They said that their ovens had gone down, all kinds of stuff, but folks went and got them anyway, which is why I'm not telling you who made them. But can't be because I'm a woman.
Whoopi had long criticized his podcast, but things escalated when she falsely claimed a Staten Island bakery refused her service for political reasons. Rogan quickly debunked it, revealing the bakery had simply been dealing with a boiler issue, highlighting just how damaging unchecked accusations could be. It wasn't long before the lawsuits started piling up. What began as a few legal threats quickly spiraled into over 30 defamation cases from some of the world's most powerful individuals, people with the resources to fight back hard. The View had built its reputation on controversy, but this time, the consequences were real. Her criticism of Elon Musk went beyond standard celebrity commentary. She regularly mocked him, calling him selfish and out of touch, but then escalated to accusing him of shady business practices and acting above the law. Musk, known for clapping back at critics, wasn't about to let it slide. The Trump family was another target. Whoopi didn't just criticize their politics. She openly suggested they were involved in corruption and illegal dealings, treating speculation as fact. Given their history of aggressively combating bad press, it was a risky move.
She's overnight going to become an icon of MAGA and the American right. She's probably going to make a lot of money off of it, so I get why she did it.
Then came the strangest attack. Carrie Underwood, the country singer, typically uncontroversial, was suddenly accused of manipulating the music industry and influencing award shows behind the scenes. Fans were left wondering why Whoopi even brought her into the drama. For years, it seemed like Whoopi could say anything without consequence. She was a Hollywood icon, a long-standing host on The View, and a master of controversy. But even the most untouchable figures eventually face accountability. And this time, Whoopi's words may have gone too far. She had built a reputation for her no-nonsense attitude, her fearless opinions, and her ability to spark controversy with just a few words. She never held back. And for the longest time, it seemed like there were no real consequences.
I hardly ever I don't remember last time we even talked about JD.
You're right. He's planning the presidency when they get rid of Trump.
So you think it's Musk Vance?
Possible.
Hey, you know who? Stay away from the stairway.
But that changed when Elon Musk decided he had enough. He had been a frequent target on The View, constantly ridiculed for his business decisions, personal life, and even his personality. Whoopi painted him as an out-of-touch billionaire who thought he was above the rest of the world. At first, Musk ignored it. He had bigger things to focus on: Tesla, SpaceX, X, formerly Twitter. But then the accusations became more serious. Whoopi made bold claims about his business ethics, suggesting he was manipulating markets, influencing politics behind the scenes, and worse. That's when Musk decided to fight back.
I have a better education than them. I'm smarter than them. I went to the best schools, they didn't. Much more beautiful house.
His legal team wasted no time. A defamation lawsuit was filed, and suddenly, Whoopi and The View found themselves in uncharted territory. They were used to criticism and backlash, but an actual lawsuit, that was different.
Are accusing the man in charge.
You're talking about the president?
Yeah.
You never say his name.
I don't.
Why?
I can't.
Then Donald Trump and his legal team stepped in. Trump had been a longtime enemy of The View, with the show constantly taking shots at him and his family. Whoopi had thrown every accusation in the book at the Trumps, from conspiracy theories to allegations of corruption. But this time, the Trump family wasn't just brushing it off as political banter. They filed their lawsuit, arguing that Whoopi had deliberately spread misinformation that damaged their reputation and business interests. If Musk's lawsuit wasn't enough, the Trump family's legal firepower made it clear that this was turning into a full-blown war. Then came the lawsuit that no one saw coming: Carrie Underwood. It had been bizarre enough when Whoopi started throwing random accusations at the country music star, claiming she had some secret influence over award shows and the entertainment industry. Underwood, usually quiet and far removed from Hollywood drama, wasn't about to let her name get dragged through the mud. She hit back with her lawsuit, demanding millions in damages for false and harmful statements.
White president asked to be shown the birth certificate. When you become a president of the United States of America, okay, listen, you know that he's American. I'm sorry, that's BS.
If that wasn't enough, Joe Rogan jumped into the fight. He had already been vocal about Whoopi's pattern of spreading misinformation, especially after she accused a Staten Island bakery of political discrimination, when, in reality, it had been a technical issue with their boiler. Rogan wasn't just another celebrity, he had millions of loyal listeners and a platform that could rival mainstream media. He made sure to call her out publicly, making the lawsuit even more embarrassing for The View. He accused Whoopi of reckless journalism, using her platform irresponsibly, and damaging her reputation with false statements. His lawsuit was yet another massive blow. When the lawsuits started rolling in, it was bad. But when the money started disappearing, that's when it became a full-blown crisis.
This is The View. We accept we don't have to believe everything people say.
Okay, so good for Whoopi, I guess, chastising the audience. We don't boo here. She could have added all the vitriol on this show will come from the hosts. Thank you very much. That's kind of how they roll over at The View. And speaking of the host of that show, I did notice that there was one conspicuous absence today around that table, Joy Behar.
Big-name advertisers had always been the backbone of The View. Companies lined up to have their commercials played during the show because it guaranteed millions of daytime viewers. Brands wanted to be associated with the show's influence, the discussion, the debate. It was daytime television gold. But controversy is one thing, legal trouble is another. And when over 30 defamation lawsuits hit The View, sponsors started running for the exits.
It's no surprise that the hosts of The View condone trans ideology, but Sky News host Rita Panahi was shocked when Whoopi Goldberg said, "The Bible defends gender transition for children."
At first, it was just a few brands quietly stepping away, not wanting to be caught in the mess. But when the lawsuits became headline news, the floodgates opened. Advertisers didn't want their names attached to a show drowning in legal battles. The lawsuits weren't just about opinionated debates, they were about false accusations, damaging reputations, and real financial consequences. That was too big of a risk. ABC tried to contain the damage. They reassured sponsors that everything was under control, that this was just temporary noise, and that The View would bounce back like it always did. But no one was buying it. Companies weren't willing to gamble their brand reputation on a sinking ship. One by one, they cut ties, pulling millions of dollars in advertising revenue. Without that money, the show couldn't survive.
Whoopi Goldberg, who raised a few eyebrows using the Bible to support the idea of kids getting gender change surgeries.
Behind the scenes, panic set in. Executives at ABC knew the show had weathered countless controversies before, but this was different. The lawsuits weren't going away. The financial losses were massive, and the network was stuck in an impossible position. Keep backing a show that was becoming more toxic by the day, or pull the plug before it dragged them down too. The tipping point came when the legal bills started stacking up. Fighting over 30 defamation lawsuits wasn't cheap. The network had to decide, was The View worth the damage? The answer became painfully obvious. So, what are your thoughts on this? Let us know in the comments below.